Hi there. Yesterday I picked up Curse 1 and 2 and reviewed them here on my YouTube channel, and today I picked up a couple more horror films from another franchise that I really love, and that's Sean Cunningham's House series. Not the TV series with your favorite English actor, but Hugh Laurie, but it's actually a really cool horror comedy. We're going to unbox them, and then we're going to just get into reviewing them a bit. There's quite a bit to know about these, actually. This is the original House. It's the Horror Legacy slipcase. And if you look in the back, there's a creature. There are features on this as well, which I will get into after we unbox it. So, you open up House, and you got the original cover here. Ding Dong, You're Dead. I actually have a t-shirt. I don't know if I've worn it on here or not, but I actually have a House t-shirt. And there's the back. It's William Katt. He stars in it. He was a star of Great American Hero, if you're old enough to remember that show or not. And on the inside we have this really cool looking DVD. And slip this out here, but we also have this is the original art for the poster, and there is, because it's Anchor Bay, there's a little booklet there. It's a small booklet, but it's really cool, and scene selection thing, and there are features on this thing, thankfully. There's of course the widescreen presentation. It's in its original aspect ratio. Audio commentary with director Steve Miner, who you probably remember from films like Friday the 13th Part 2 and Halloween H2O, I think. It was, H2O or Resurrection. He did a Halloween film. Anyway, and also writer Ethan Wiley, producer Sean Cunningham, who you know for doing the Friday 13th films, and My Boyfriend's Back, of course, the zombie comedy that he did back in the 80s, and star William Katt, I just mentioned. House is a fun film. Basically, it's about a horror author who's kind of goes into a downward spiral after his son goes visiting a family away and disappears. It starts out looking like it's going to be a very depressing, don't look now type of film, and it turns into something completely different. It's a real fun thrill ride. There's a lot of big, good actors in this movie. William Katt stars in this movie. George Wendt from Cheers, who played Norm on Cheers. Richard Mall from Night Court. He's done a million things, and this was one of the many horror films that he did. Kay Lenz, who beat out actually Glenn Close, and other actresses to star in the lead role here. And who else is in this? Alan Autry, who played Bubba in the TV series In the Heat of the Night, is in this as well. And Stephen Williams, who was Mr. X. And of course the captain in the original 21 Jump Street series. So, well, the second captain after the first one died. The movie's really fun. There's some great special effects in this film. Something I can highly recommend. It's not too scary, so an older teen child can watch this film easily, and it's way more fun. It's a much happier ending than the movie. What you'd expect to happen. And by the way, Steve Miner was H2O. It says right on the back. You should look, huh? And Warlock. This is a really fun film. It's written by Fred Dekker, and it's probably the reason that it is accessible for teens. Fred Dekker is more famous for the movie Monster Squad, which is a really cool horror film that I remember seeing when I was younger. That had Frankenstein, the creature, the werewolf, the mummy. It's a really fun film. He did this. Also, Ethan Wiley, who worked with him on that film, helped write this as well. And we're going to talk with Ethan Wiley a little bit more on House 2, and I'll tell you why in a second. Here's the sequel, House 2, the second story. Now, there is a House 3 and 4. However, House 3 was not originally called House 3. It was called The Horror Show, and starred Brian Thompson. It's a really good film in its own accord. I really don't consider it part of the House series, but it is a fun film. And House 4, I don't know if I've ever seen it, and I haven't heard great things about it. But this here was a movie that at the time that it came out because House was semi-horror with comedy, House 2, the second story, was pretty much not. Uh, it's very horror. It's horror in the very loosest of terms. It's pretty much a comedy film. It's a very easily for kids to watch, and it's a nice starter into this genre for like budding fans and children. You can show your kids this movie. It's like a Disney thing in many ways. So let's open it up. This is the outside cover, and of course the back. There are features on this, which I'll talk about in a minute. There's the case there. I know it looks kind of creepy there, but it really isn't actually. And this is the, of course, that comes out. Again, we have a little pamphlet, booklet here. The scene selection thing on back. It's a fun film. I wouldn't get like small kids, but you know, kids can watch this film. The features on this one here, by the way, it's got the original widescreen presentation, audio commentary again, with writer-director Ethan Wiley and producer Sean S. Cunningham. I have not listened to the commentaries yet, but I have been told that this is the superior commentary out of the two films. Theatrical trailer on this as well. This one runs 88 minutes. The other one there ran at 92. House came out in 1985, and this one here came out in 1987. This is a different beast altogether. Okay, what's the best way to put this? I want to get this up on the screen here. Yeah, because there's quite a cast to go through on House 2. House 2 starred Ari Gross, who was kind of like the everyday, kind of nerdy type guy in the TV series Ellen. It also had Western actor Raul Dano, political pundit Bill Maher played a sleazy guy role in this one. It had Lara Park Lincoln, who would later go on to be in Friday the 13th Part 7, and if you're a soap opera fan, she acted in one of those as well. And the nighttime ones, Knots Landing, I think. And Amy Yasbeck from, I think it was Wings, and a bunch of other shows. Anyway, she's in that as well. John Ratzenberger, because he had to have something from Cheers. So Norm last time, Cliff this time. Except this is a very different film. Jesse comes home with his girlfriend, and his parents have died years ago, and it all has to do with this like skull, kind of like a crystal skull type thing. And the house is haunted, of course. It's another haunted house story. Now in this one, each door leads into another time, another dimension. So you get them fighting cowboys and dinosaurs, kind of like zombies, cavemen. It's just a really fun film. Now Ethan Wiley won 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Here, as you know, House was done by Sean S. Cunningham, who produced the Friday the 13th films. And House 2 is directed by Ethan Wiley and produced by Sean S. Cunningham. Ethan Wiley did have another connection to Cunningham later on, because when Jason X came out, Ethan Wiley was also a musician, did 2 of the songs on the soundtrack for Jason X. A little tidbit of trivia there. And I gotta say, I really had fun with this movie. When this originally came out, I was not one of the first people to enjoy it. But watching it again and like seeing it from a different perspective, and not like just going for the gore and the horror aspect of it, this is a fun film. There's like some cute little effects in this movie. It's not for everybody, but it's a great film, and like The Gate, it's a great one to introduce younger horror fans to. You know, it's an in-between Goosebumps, Eerie, Indiana type thing. And it's but you know, it can be watched, can be watched by adults, and it's an enjoyable film. So House and House 2, I highly recommend them both. They are very fun films. If you like horror, comedy, House is a really good film. House does supply a little bit of the jump scares. I feel like the kind of the cheesy fun aspect and some of the effects, both of them deliver on that. But House 2 is more of the Back to the Future style kind of a, well, I don't know if you compare it Back to the Future, but it's just a really fun film. So, Cy Nurse Cunningham's House and House 2. If you've seen House 4 and you think I should see it, get it, you can recommend it to me or not recommend it to me, let me know. I haven't seen that one. I have seen House 3 called The Horror Show, but House and House 2 I got right now. They're great films. I'm hoping that Scream Factory will put out The Horror Show. And for me right now, my voice is going and it is definitely time for tea.